In this video guide, we're gonna see how we can use ArchiCAD lights in Enscape. So if you want, there is the entire course in Enscape for ArchiCAD. And also, if you want to know more about ArchiCAD, you don't know, you can get into ArchiCAD lessons. So what I'm doing here is deleting some of the assets that I put with Enscape, because you can put lights with Enscape, and in addition to this, you can also work with ArchiCAD lights. So if I want to manage the lighting device from Enscape, I need to go into the asset library, select it, and remove it or edit it from there. And the lights in Enscape, you cannot do much editing, and you can use emissive materials though, which is another way, and you can change the intensity of the emissive material. So I'm going to continue here to delete some of the lights, and I'm going to apply the editing and leave the asset library visualization in Enscape, and let's go now in ArchiCAD. So I'm gonna get here inside the room, and we're gonna add some lighting and light device using just ArchiCAD. I'm just gonna leave some emissive materials like the TV screen in there. And so I'm gonna go here in the toolbar on the left in ArchiCAD, and this is where I find the lamp objects or lamp tool. So here I can add recessive spotlight, I can add an interior device, an exterior street lamp. These are just examples. You have also other libraries that you can use in ArchiCAD, but I'm gonna go with the general light because all the others, they work in a similar way. So I'm gonna use just the standard lighting device. And again, if you want to know more, you can just go in the ArchiCAD course. So you can see here, I put a light, an OmniLight. This is a spherical omnidirectional light that projects photons and shadows in every direction. And we can see there the shadows and the intensity also of this light, which is kind of too much. We're going to delete it with the delete key. And so that's, the basic one that we're going to see. Otherwise, you can put a device in there. As, here I have a slope, so it's a little bit difficult, but once you place it, once the placement is finished, you can select it, right click, and you can move it around. So you can move it, drag it around with many tools. And I'm just going to put it a little bit more down. And again, it's really intense. So one thing that I need to fix is the intensity. So if I move the scroll wheel on the top bar, I will find here the intensity, and I can turn completely on and off the light. I can just kill it, or I can, adjust it. And also we have visual settings on the top. So here is where we adjust the exposure of the camera. So this will also affect the quantity of light inside the render, inside the architecture visualization. And then we have other settings that we're gonna see later. So now it looks a little bit better, but the other way is just to decrease the intensity, or to use like darker color. So you can see now it's almost invisible. So let's turn it up. And I don't like to use automatic exposure because I don't really then understand what's happening with the light. So usually I turn off the automatic exposure in Enscape and then start to work with the lights until I get the effect that I want. And my suggestion is play with the lights, not maybe radically like this, if it's not a club or whatever. Just play with the colors, because the combination of colors, positions of the lights, and intensity, they give you three-dimensionality. They give you a more interesting final effect. And you can check also the three-point lighting technique in the course, in Enscape course, and in other video guides in the channel. Okay, so here I can also change the lighting device. This is a street lamp, but it's like going above the roof, so I don't see it. And this is just to show you that once you place the light, you can always change it. And if you right click and you go in the object settings, in the lamp selection settings, also here you can adjust the intensity, the color, and then you have like other effects like the shadow, transparency, the fall off. Now, not all of these parameters will be recognizable by Enscape, so you need to just use them and see if they are working. And to do that, just say okay, confirm, and just go outside. Now these are other visualization. You can set up the height from the story. You can select which story, and then here you have a bunch of panels with many different effects that you can check. It's you know, it's a lot of stuff, and not all of that I think is gonna be visually well, it's gonna be visualized in Enscape. Now we can change the type of light. So we are using now the general, but then you have also area light, which is a little bit different. It's based on an area rather than a single point. So usually the bigger is the area light, the softer are the shadows. And so you can play a lot with the lights. And then you have also IS lights, spotlights, and sunlight. So just go here, apply it, and see what's going to happen. Now this also, it's interesting, it's a portal light. Portal light is essentially a plain light. So you can put it usually next to windows to simulate the light coming from the exterior. So it shouldn't be too strong unless you have like a street lamp or something immediately outside the window. So usually it's like bluish, and it should represent the environment light coming into the scene. So something like this will be fine. So be careful, not too high. Or if you want, yes, higher if you're again simulating a street lamp or whatever. And I'm just gonna increase it a little bit just to show you what's happening. So just work with a combination of light. I'm just gonna deselect, exit the selection, and then apply a new light. So now we have a combination of two lights, one coming from the window, one coming from the top, and also play with different colors and different intensities. So that's another one. And usually we need at least three lights. One should be the key light, the other one should be the fill light, and then we have a backlight. We can say that backlight could be the window portal light, and the key light could be the one that comes from above, and then we can add like a third one, which should be where the shadows are in the subjects. Try to, you know, make those shadows less intense. So I'm gonna position it somewhere right here, and then again I'm going to, if I want, I can continue, I can change it. Also, you have other lighting device in the ArchiCAD libraries if you want more type of devices like lamps, things like that. But I'm just gonna use these really basic ones. So again, intensity, adjust, just play with some colors sometimes, change the intensity and the color. That's the most important thing. Change the position if you want to get other types of effects, and check the 3-point lining again. The video guides that we have in the channel explaining how we can use that technique. So just go in the search bar and search for that. And we can continue here just to, you know, modify, try to change type of light, like from a changed here into a planar light. But I can also do more. I can change intensity, the size. Now it's too strong. So just gonna decrease it again. Now it's too low. So it's everything is a balance. And also you need to balance using not the general settings, but the visual settings. So the exposure of the camera, really important. So balance here the overall exposure, and you also have then other tabs here to adjust the temperature of the you can do like a little bit of post-production here. So saturation, desaturation, color, temperature, various effects like lens flare, bloom, vignetting, chromatic aberration. These are all explained in the Enscape course, by the way. And then you have also sky, so you can adjust the sky and the night sky brightness. So now you can see I've increased it. And then I have artificial light brightness, also really important when you're working with combination of natural and artificial lights. And this will be all for this video guide. I hope I show you whatever you needed to know. And if you like the video, join the channel also to stay updated for more video guides, video courses. And if you want to thank us, if you want to support us, you can join the channel as a supporter. This will help us a lot to create more videos, and check the others. And so this will be all. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video guide.